This is the Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping the news this evening, it's day 2 of the new school term, and officials say it has been smooth sailing so far. For months now, students have been utilizing the Ministry of Education's online learning platform. Our Jamila Mizik visited schools in the West today and tells us school officials say they're all happy to be back in the classrooms.
Students in the Western District returning to the classrooms for the second day this week, and principals at the Bartlett Hill, Martintown, and West End primary schools say so far it has been a smooth return.
We have had the assistance of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, 8 Mile Rock Division, who's assisting us with the traffic flow in the morning. We are just excited to be back. And we see the excitement on the children's faces along with the parents.
Teachers and children were excited to come in. They came in their uniforms. Those who didn't have uniforms, they came anyway. They came excited. Parents were excited to have them back. And we are just here willing to make sure they learn what they need to learn.
Today was even better. The flow it was much better this morning. And so we were able to just get our students in the class. Everything went smoothly. Everyone knew where to go. And we got started promptly at 9 o'clock.
And while many schools are operating using the hybrid model, the primary schools in West Grants, Bahama are operating face-to-face.
We do have a staggered break and lunch period that eliminates the children, all of the children being out at the same time. And because of our numbers being so small in such a large building, we can accommodate the complement of students that we have enrolled here.
We have the space. Students are able to social distance in the classroom. We are fully face-to-face. And so they are also able to social distance at the break and lunch times because we have staggered break and lunch.
They say based on the numbers, there were more students who showed up in person than those who were logging on virtually.
Currently, we have 245 students enrolled, and we would have already had parents yesterday morning and this morning coming to transfer students in. So that's a process that we're working on because we would like to see 100% of those 245 students show up before we add to that number.
Between yesterday and today, our numbers face-to-face is much better. We had about 70% yesterday, and we're up to about 80%.
We actually called parents. We've given them a little love reminder that school is open. Some of them are having shoe issues. The children would have had shoes from September and they didn't wear them. So now the shoes are too small, but put a pair of tennis on them, put a pair of slippers on them, send them to school. Uniform a little bit too tight, that's okay. Put something clean on them, send them to school.
And as for how they will prepare for national examinations,
all we can do is the best that we can given the time period that we have. If the Ministry of Education does decide to go ahead with the GLAD exams, which is a diagnostic exam, we will be ready.
They've started with reading and math assessments to see where the students are coming back at. We're also doing a lot of intervention, bringing those students who never logged on or logged on inconsistently. We're trying to get them brought up to date.
Now over at the 8 Mile Rock High School, Principal Chester Cooper says they are operating using the hybrid model.
We are overjoyed, happy, elated, all those terms you can use, that we are finally back up and running. And I'm still not pleased with the attendance level. I expect to see every child who's registered and then some. But of course, that's not the case as yet. But we begin the process today of reaching out to those parents whose child has not yet attended school.
And he says, despite the challenges, they will do what is necessary to ensure that all students are better prepared to sit their national examinations.
We had to put together intervention strategies in hopes of them coming in January. So that process began yesterday. Whereby those kids didn't log on, we began to go over topics, and it's going to be a lot of work for them. Once they're focused, they can do it. But like I said, our teachers, they're up to the task, and they're ready to go.
Jamila Mizik, ZNS Network News.
Well, meantime, the private schools have reopened and students and children are said to be excited to also be back in the classrooms. School leaders say the health and safety of students and teachers are top priority. Jay Philippe reports.
Private schools on Grand Bahama also making a return to face-to-face learning. Over at Mary Star of the Sea Catholic Academy, the students have returned to the hybrid model, which is a continuation from last semester. Principal Joy Ritchie telling us that the primary school has welcomed back all students while the high school has moved to a hybrid model.
We have all of our primary in from K to 6, and they are in their little bubbles. And again, their social movement is limited. The teachers would come to them, they stay in their homes. Obviously, this is a good time now for them to come outside, get some fresh air. The high school, we have grades 7, 9, and 11 would come on a 6-day rotation, and then they would stay home, and then 8, 10, and 12 would come on their 6-day rotation. And we've done that in the high school based on where the classes are on the campus. It gives optimum separation with regards to the students when they have to come outside for breaks. They are strategically separated.
At Sunland Baptist Academy, Principal Devonia Knowles says students, teachers, and even parents are excited about the return of in-person classes at the school.
We have our elementary students on campus this week, and we will rotate. Next week, our elementary students will remain at home virtually while our high school students come in. So we've done a little bit something different for the start of the school year. And we're doing that for these first 2 weeks while we write in to seek approval to have 100% of our students back on campus.
The majority of the private schools on island welcoming their students to the classroom. Bishop Michael Eldon School was no exception, as Vice Principal Natasha Pinder says they had high expectations.
Everyone was excited to be here today. Now, as usual, with COVID being what it is, we have our protocols in place, temperature checks as soon as students come in, they're sanitized as they come in. All the classrooms in anticipation of them coming were properly sanitized. So we were just ready for them to come in this morning.
Principals outlining some of the strategies that their respective institutions are following to safeguard students, teachers, and administration from the possible spread of COVID-19.
We have built into our schedule sanitization periods where they are not just using the liquid sanitization or sanitizer, but they actually wash with soap and water at least 3 times.
We're continuing to monitor our students as far as, ensuring all day, talking to them about keeping their masks up over their nose, sanitizing their hands, remaining socially distant from their friends, even though that's difficult for them.
Now, parents are not allowed on the school campus, and parents are asked to drop off and pick up their students in an orderly fashion to avoid large gatherings at the entrance of the school grounds. I'm Jay Philippe, ZNS Network News.
Bahamians are being encouraged to get certified as there are major opportunities in the pipeline for those who prepare themselves. Sabrina Brown has more.
Endless opportunities are on the horizon for Bahamians who take advantage of the certification training program at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute. Head of the Construction Department, Kenton Roker, says the National Center for Construction and Educational Research certification program being facilitated through Valencia College in Florida in a number of course offerings can open doors for quality, high-end employment.
We have a number of companies. You have the one in Eleuthera by Disney. You have Exoma. And we also have in Florida, where they're asking for only NCCER certified persons. That's what they're asking for. You don't just go and apply for a job. You must produce your card saying that you're certified. And from the apprenticeship level, which is you might just have the call, go to level 1, 2, and 3 in any area of construction.
In fact, he says 3 mega private companies have already submitted a request to BTVI for NCCER certified workers.
We have to produce 500 Bahamians certified in NCCER by June. 500. And once you've completed that, you have a job waiting on you. And so it's very important that we go at this nonstop to produce 500 Bahamians. And the companies, they don't want foreigners. They told us they want Bahamians. Think about it. They bring in foreigners, They got to pay for work permit. But we as locals, we live here. And so it's cost effective for them.
He believes the value of attaining certification cannot be overstated.
Certification is the way to go nowadays. Employers are not looking for a degree, because I can have a degree but still don't understand that area. When you're certified, that means you're certified in that specific area. And that's what we're pushing now, certifications.
BTVI is partnering with New Life Worship Center to provide free training for Bahamians starting from high school.
Could you imagine a 10th grade student graduating from high school with a level 3 or level 4 degree in a specific area? He's job ready, marketable. He can demand a salary.
Sabrina Brown, ZNS Network News.
The Ministry of Health reporting 2 additional COVID-19 deaths. Both are females from New Providence. One passed away on January 15th, the other on January 19th. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reporting that there is an additional death under investigation. The total COVID-19 death toll stands now at 731. New infections are now in the triple digits again. 101 to be exact, 72 in New Providence, 12 in Grand Bahama, 5 in Abaco, 2 in Exuma, 4 in Andros, 3 in Cat Island, 1 each in Long Island, Eleuthera and Bimini and Cat Key. Hospitalizations are at 137. 30 of those cases are in Grand Bahama. There are 7,431 active cases, 206 recovered to date. Stay with us, there's more news on the other side of the break.